Hello, one and all. Is my view that time that reincarnates a slime, season 2, episode 7, and just... Oh god, Jesus freaking Christ, this episode. I mean, seriously, this episode. Even with all the bloodshed and despair, even with all the dead parents still holding their dead children, I think the moment that hit me the most, the moment that hit me the hardest, was when that goblin said, "We did just as you ordered, and welcome the humans." Now, obviously, he's not blaming Rimuru, but all Rimuru heard was, "This is your fault. This happened because of you. Because you told us to get along with humans, we welcomed them into our city, and we hesitated to fight back when they attacked us. Because you got into an economic warfare with Falmouth, even though you had absolutely no idea what you were doing, they came in and attacked us. Because you weren't here, because you spent all that time with those kids, even after you saved them, just goofing off and hanging out, you weren't here to protect us. You weren't here to defend us. All of this is your fault, Rimuru. This happened because of you." Oh, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt so very, very badly. And yet despite that, despite all this basically being Rimuru's fault, nobody blames him. All his people are so excited, so happy to see him back, to welcome him. Like, Rimuru's here, yay, he's okay. Some of them even seem guilty that they weren't able to protect themselves, that they weren't able to protect Tempest, Rimuru's creation. Oh, that almost makes it worse. That honestly almost makes it worse. There's this one series I read where this woman accidentally blows up a church and kills everyone inside it. They kinda had it coming. Long story. But anyway, after it happens, nobody blames her. Even the people she was close to who are religious don't blame her for it, and just view it as being justified because of what they did first. And that just makes it so much more painful for her because, no one's blaming her. No one's giving her any guilt. There's no absolution or justice. I mean, if they yelled at Rimuru, if they told him this was his fault, if they were mad at him, at least, he'd feel something then. At least he'd feel like, he received some sort of punishment for his actions. But instead, they're all apologizing. They're all saying, "Oh, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault." When Rimuru just wants them to say, "No, it's my fault, please, blame me, punish me, tell me I was in the wrong here." Oh, I love it, I absolutely freaking love it. But let's roll back the clock for a second, because let's not forget, there was a whole first half of this episode, Rimuru's battle with Hinata, which just feels so out of place when compared to the rest of the episode. Like, seriously, this feels like, they should have just finished the Hinata battle last episode and then just focused the episode solely on Rimuru's return Tempest and everything that's involved with that. But anyway, end of last episode, start of this episode, Rimuru unleashed the full power of gluttony, an ability that basically brings out everything he's ever eaten, full strength, full abilities, and apparently destroys his soul in the process. Seriously, the manga described it this way: to devour everything in sight until he gobbled up the stars. He is literally a planet killer. He literally could consume the entire planet if he was not stopped here. Honestly, I think if he had activated this, in the middle of the Forest of Jura, where he's free to consume a whole bunch more monsters and, all the magicals in the air, he would become so strong, so powerful, so overwhelming, that by the time the church or anyone even noticed, he would literally be unstoppable. He would literally reach a point where even disintegration wouldn't be able to stop him. Oh, I love that. I absolutely freaking love it. And in order to stop this, Hinata has to pull out all the stops, summoning 5 fairly high-ranking spirits at once just to hold him down. Spirits of earth, water, fire, wind, and sky. I'm honestly not sure what the difference is between wind and sky. I'm actually rather confused about that. And it's also should be noted that she does not have a pact with any light spirits. So therefore, she does not have the qualifications to be a hero, which is rather interesting, but anyway, so then that's basically just to hold Rimuru down long enough for her to unleash disintegration, the highest level of sacred magic there is. And well worth it. This thing is unstoppable, indestructible. There's literally no way to defend against it. Rimuru wonders if Malim can survive it. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know if this would actually be enough to kill her or not. I mean, I think it might, though the bigger question is, just holding Malim down long enough for the spell to be enacted. Because the spell takes like a full minute for Hinata to cast, saying the words and chanting, holding Rimuru down, bringing out the magic circles and all that. I can't imagine, she would get the same opportunity to take out Malim. Honestly, I don't even think she would be able to do this on Rimuru if he wasn't, a mindless monster at this point, but yeah, anyway, so she casts the spell, kills Rimuru. Oh no, the series is over. But it wasn't, because that was actually a body double that Rimuru created and transferred authority to, so it had access to all of his skills and abilities. Yay! Though it is interesting to note in the manga and I think the light novel, Rimuru created the body double before Hinata actually showed up. He did it, when he first saw Zoe so badly injured. He's like, okay, clearly I need to do something here because the foe I'm about to fight is super OP and I need to be ready for literally anything. Though I do think it looked more aesthetically amazing in the anime, Rimuru bouncing out while she was distracted by fighting Ifrit like that. I thought that looked really cool, and actually I'm glad they changed that. And then Rimuru brings out Ranga, and Ranga is such a good boy. So happy to see his master okay. Oh, I freaking love Ranga. I freaking love Ranga. And just back and forth they have, where he's like, you're the strongest, Master Rimuru. You could easily beat her. You can easily beat her. Oh, that was adorable. That was so freaking adorable, and I loved it. Then Rimuru gets back to Tempest, and it's bad. It's bad. With another holy field over the entire town, similar to the one that Hinata used, though not nearly as powerful. I think it was said in light novel that if the same berry had been used that Hinata used over the entire city, lower level monsters like the goblins would have basically melted almost instantly. Well, this one just weakens them, so thankfully they now have the firepower for a fully realized holy field, or this would be a much, much worse scenario. Also do love that Rimuru and Zoe are communicating through a sticky thread. It's like cup on a string. That was just so hilarious. I loved it. Anyway, then we get to see Tempest, and it's bad. It's so very, very bad. Though, I do love they took a moment to show that Gabiru's men, help save those children, that they really shine like that. And, I mean, these are characters who are, side of side characters, just basically the entourage for Gabiru. But here they managed to really shine, really managed to show, that they are worthy warriors, worthy protectors, and I just really like that. Speaking of chance to shine, I was actually really happy with Grucius and Yom this episode, willing to fight freaking Benimaru to save Mulan. I mean, seriously, it's established that Benimaru is stronger than Phobio, stronger than one of the Beastketeers. So Grucius had to know he had absolutely zero chance of beating him, especially when he was, this overwhelmingly angry and unstable, but he still kept doing it for the woman he loved, even though she said she likes him as a friend. Oh, Grucius, I freaking love you. I freaking love you. Especially this weird, kind of roly-poly way you're trying to get down your knees, but you're too, beat up to actually do it. Oh, that was funny. That was really freaking funny. And this might seem strange, but I actually liked Mulan this episode too. I respect her this episode. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people online calling for her death, calling for her to be murdered in the most painful way imaginable right here, right now. Others are saying that Rimuru should basically enslave her so that she has to spend every day in Tempest, surrounded by the people whose loved ones she killed. Oh, that sounds like good revenge. That sounds like good revenge right there. But she did what she did because she's basically a slave, because the man she loved was being threatened. And now that's done, she's fully prepared to give up her life. In fact, she's edging on Rimuru. She's potentially attempting to antagonize him, attempting to get him to murder her so that Yom and Grucius will stop trying to defend her. I mean, that I can respect just a little bit, just a little bit. And speaking of respect, Molly's back! Yay! Oh, I love Molly. Absolutely freaking love Molly as a character. I actually did a whole video on how the anime ruined him in season 1, and they are continuing to ruin him here. I mean, seriously, here he's basically like, well, if I almost attacked you because you got involved with their trading route, just like I warned you about 3 episodes ago. And now I'm gonna go leave for Blumend and try and tell them that you're actually nice people. Alright, see you guys. No, in the source material, he straight up told Rimuru, this is not your fault. Falmus is clearly being corrupt and evil, and they're not going through the council. They're obviously trying to do this in the most sneaky, evil way imaginable, and you know what? I'm here. I'm by your side. I'll do whatever you need. In fact, I've talked to the traders and merchants, and while I haven't won all of them over, a significant number of them are willing to help you in the coming war. Weapons, aid, clothing, whatever you might need that we can acquire, we will give it to you, Rimuru. We will help you in this battle however we can. And it's not just them. A number of adventurers who have made Tempest their home base stand up and say, hey, we're willing to fight with you too, in this battle against farmers. We will fight by your side against one of the strongest nations in the world, as well as basically God, because, they have the backing of the Archbishop, and they said they were going to try and get the full backing of the church now. If they do, this would literally mean that Tempest is in a war against God. And these adventurers, these traders, these merchants, they're willing to take on that risk. They're willing to get involved with this just because of how good Rimuru has been for them and how much they appreciate and respect him. I am definitely sad that scene was taken out. I mean, they might show that in the next episode, but that just seems unlikely given that Molly already left for Blummin. Because, oh yeah, forgot to mention this, but after they all volunteer to help and offer whatever they can, Rimuru basically says, thanks, but no, you should all just go to Blummin and tell everyone what happened, because clearly the church and clearly Falmus are going to try and make up these lies that we attacked them without provocation. You guys need to tell them the truth, that they attacked us first. So, yeah, that seems like we're gonna miss out on that, which is definitely a big disappointment. I mean, the whole thing I started this video off was talking about how this happened because Rimuru wanted to befriend humans because he let humans into Tempest, and that scene showed, okay, the decision wasn't entirely awful, it wasn't entirely bad, there were a lot of humans who are really good to Rimuru, who appreciate him, respect him, and who are willing to stand by his side, even in the worst of situations. Bummer. And then the episode ends with Rimuru finding out the Demon Lord Clayman is behind a lot of what's been going on here, and it seems like he's about to declare vengeance against him, which... Seriously, can we just take a minute to appreciate the fact there are 10 Demon Lords, and in the 2 to 3 years that Rimuru has been in this world, he's been made aware of 6 of them. Romulus, Malim, Leon, Carrion, Clayman, and Freya. He's on fairly good terms with 3 of them, Malim, Romulus, and Carrion, and he's declared vengeance against 2 of them, Leon and Clayman. I don't know if those are good numbers or bad, but that seems like way too much interaction with Demon Lords. Also, let's not forget the fact that 2 of Rimuru's friendly Demon Lords, Carrion and Malim, are basically at war with one another, so he's almost certainly going to lose one of them. And Freya, the one he's fairly neutral with at this point, did make a deal with Clayman last season. So yeah, all he really has is Romulus at this point against Clayman, Leon, and Freya, which... Oh, that's bad. That's so very, very bad. Anyway, yes, the next episode is called Hope, as in, I hope Falmus burns next episode. Yay! I mean, seriously, that one guy's line, the city has been contaminated by monsters. Are you freaking kidding me? The monsters built this city. This is a city of monsters built by monsters. You can't say it was contaminated by the people who built it. That just does not make any sense. Just Jesus freaking Christ. Oh, I really want this guy to die. I really, truly want this guy to die in the most painful way imaginable. Seriously, the entire army can just burn for all I care at this point. And the entire city. The army, the city, the citizens, the king. Oh yeah, the king was mentioned here. Oh, I really hope they make him burn very painfully. I mean, seriously, keep the king alive for as long as possible. Make him watch as you burn the army, as you burn the country, as you salt the lands that nothing can ever grow again. And then you kill him after he's lost literally everything. That would feel very satisfying. That would feel so very, very satisfying to watch. But yeah, let me think all this down below. What do you think of these deaths? What do you think of the tone this series has taken up to this point? I mean, seriously, I saw so many people complaining after the first season ended, oh, the series is too lighthearted, the series is too soft, there's no real consequences, there's nothing bad that could ever really happen in this series, and, oh, they were wrong, they were so very, very wrong, and how much darker do you think it can get before we actually get to that hope that was promised by the next episode title? I mean, seriously. What's Rimuru going to do next? How is he going to declare war against Falmus? Is he actually going to go to war? Is he actually going to, take his revenge? And is he actually going to become, an enemy of humanity by fighting a human nation, by wiping out a human nation, essentially? Oh, I can't wait to see it. I cannot freaking wait to see it. But please, let me think all this down below. Be sure to like, subscribe to this video. Until then, peace!